Okay, I'm still sat here with Eric Oostling from the University of Stockholm. We were a master's student, and we've been talking about UFO religions. But I know there's an interest you have in the interplay between UFO religions or ufology and popular culture.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you look upon like the history of ufology and UFO religions, I think that popular culture is kind of like an important point. The whole ideas of alien visitors were, of course, already present in like the 1930s, 40s pulp sci-fi magazines. So I guess in a sense that if you look upon ufology, you can probably find some kind of interplay between like a pop culture sci-fi fandom kind of thing on one hand, and also a like ufology on the other. So that's kind of like a situation where the two are probably being feedbacking each other in a sense,
right.
that ideas are developing out of.
So it's hard to say whether the ideas that some people take as entertainment and other people take very seriously came from one genre first, or a bit of both, or it's kind of this feedback loop that you talked about.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, for example, these people, contactees as they're often called, like in the early 50s, claiming contact with alien beings. There were, of course, like movies. Like The Day the Earth Stood Still is like a good example of like of course a saucer landing and like a benevolent alien being visiting Earth. So I guess that's like a early good example.
And an example of popular culture connecting with things that's taken very seriously might be in Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
You said they had interest in popular culture.
Yeah, I mean, like Heaven's Gate was like an interesting mixture of biblical narratives and also like ufology, but also Star Trek in a sense, and sci-fi materials were important as far as I know in their theology, or how you want cosmology, if you want to describe it. And a way you can look upon that is, for example, that before their suicide or departure, you know, if you want to use an emic or an ethic term for describing it, you could.
So departure was the phrase they would use.
Well, they would probably something like that. They would probably consider staying here on Earth to be like a suicide. I think they even had a statement on their homepage saying that it would be, because the idea was, of course, that Earth was going to be recycled, and leaving Earth was the only way to not being spaded under in a sense. So, and the interesting, the videos they made before, like farewell videos, so to speak. They even had one of the Heaven's Gate members tapping his chest, like in the Star Trek sense, like using an intercom and saying something like 39 to beam up or something like that.
So that kind of image of being kind of beamed up to a spaceship hidden behind the Hale-Bopp comet or whatever, is that sounds so. It's kind of weird because it's so familiar from Star Trek and things. At the same time, so chilling because we know what happened next. Yeah, is that you have the mass suicide?
Yeah, exactly,
and so that's kind of because on one hand, it's not just some people getting together to play dress up, and they took it so seriously that it led to kind of mortal consequences. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they considered this being like the final times on Earth before it was going to be recycled. So they wanted to evolve in a sense from this like this human level to something superior. And I guess like Heaven's Gate's ideas had developed during their whole course of existence, like from being like the idea that the saucer was going to land, that they were going to enter. It kind of evolved into the idea they had to shed their earthly remains and being reborn.
And they believe that they'd be kind of re-embodied once or would they be kind of leave it behind completely into more spiritual?
No, they would get like a new bodily form. But it's going to be like androgynous, like because like next level would transcend like the sexes in a sense. So it would be like
it's kind of more advanced. And
exactly.
It reminds me of a little bit of the science fiction writer Ian M. Banks when he talks about species deciding to kind of leave the physical world, they sublime or whatever. But this idea that you leave behind something lower to go somewhere higher.
I think like I'm not positive here, but I think that like a common theme you can find is like an idea of evolution. Not necessarily that you are to leave behind, but that there's some kind of cosmic evolution in a sense that we are either transcending our more like animal destructive forces or transcending our like bodily form in a sense. So I would say like probably there's some evolutionary sense to be found in these kinds of religious
and
groups.
the thing that makes it sound religious to me, in a sense, rather than people just having unusual beliefs, is the sense in which there's some idea that we have a meaning within a wider scheme of things, but we're unaware of the meaning. There are aliens who are looking at us, looking out for us, who are more powerful and knowledgeable than we are, and that seems to confer this kind of sense of existential purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can look upon the universe as ever widening in scope, and not necessarily, but you could have the idea that Earth become more insignificant as the larger the universe gets. Yeah. But in a sense, all these religious groupings are well, it's kind of challenging the idea that Earth is insignificant, because it would be highly significant. Otherwise, there wouldn't be people visiting here, of course.
Yeah,
so
who are so special and powerful. Yeah, I guess why there's that comic inversion at the start of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy we were talking about earlier on, where Earth gets visited by aliens, but they're blowing up to make a bypass. Yeah, it's kind of that's why it's funny, because it's an inversion of this kind of trope that aliens visiting us shows that we're not insignificant after all. No, we do matter, and we're actually part of a bigger. And that idea we're part of a purposeful scheme actually echoes, like for some, the idea of we're part of God's creation, say in Christianity, which has got a purpose and a point and things. So it restores that without having to restore a kind of theistic.
Yeah, I guess. Good, I guess.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.